Okay, in last classes we discussed the development of embryo and the development of endosperm. Okay, I told you that post-fertilization period have 4 stages. That 4 stages are development of embryo, development of endosperm, development of seed and development of the fruit. Next here we are discussing the development of seed and fruit. Okay, so the final product of angiosperm reproduction is the seed. A typical seed is known as fertilized and a mature ovule. Okay, generally a seed consisting of seed coats, the tegmen which changed in the integment portion changed into seed coat, and it having cotyledon and embryonal axis. So generally a seed having the following portion: seed coat, cotyledons and embryonal axis or embryo axis. Seed coats are the modification of the integments. The cotyledons of the embryo are simple but thick and swollen due to the storage of food. Okay, in case of legume, grass, cashew nuts, peanuts, etc. So the seed coats are modified form of the integments. The cotyledons of embryo are simple but thick. Why it is thick and swollen? It stores food materials. For example, as legumes, grams, cashew nut, peanut, etc. The seeds may be albuminous or non-albuminous. The seeds may be albuminous or non-albuminous. Albuminous seeds have the residual endosperm after the embryo development. Albuminous seeds have residual endosperm after the embryo development. Wheat, maize, barley, castor and sunflower seeds are the albuminous. Albuminous seeds otherwise known as endospermous, because endosperm is remaining there. That's why it is known as endospermous seeds. Okay, if there is no residual endosperm in the seed after the development of the embryo, the seed is said to be non-albuminous or non-endosperm. If endosperm is not residing, it is known as non-endospermous. Example for that group is pea, groundnut, cashew nut, bean, grams, etc. Okay, clear it is. So we discussed the structure of seed. The seeds are two types: albuminous seeds and the non-albuminous seeds. So here in this structure you can see the endosperm. Okay, so it's an example for a wheat group. So here endosperm is retaining. That's why it is known as endospermous seeds or albuminous seeds. Okay, but in this pea plant or bean seed, endosperm is not present, so it is known as non-albuminous or non-endosperm seed. Okay, if the remnant of nucellus is there in the seed is person structure, that is known as perisperm. Perisperm. Then part of nucellus, I gave you one table. Okay, which portions are converted into which type of portions, like that. For example, nucellus get converted into perisperm. Then the skin coverings, integment can convert into seed coat, like that. Okay, I gave you one table. You must write down that table in your notebook. Okay, so if the remnant of the nucellus is there in the seed as a persistent structure, that is known as perisperm. Example for this perisperm is black pepper. Black pepper is perispermous. Black pepper is perispermous. A fully matured seed shows hard and tough seed coat. Okay, living micropyle opening at the tip. During germination, the entry of oxygen water takes through this micropyle opening. As the seed matures, the embryo becomes relatively dry. Metabolic activity slows down and the seed is said to be dormant. Okay, such seeds germinate during favorable conditions like adequate moisture, temperature, oxygen suitable occurs. Okay, along with maturation of ovules, the ovary develop into fruit. The ovary wall becomes the fruit wall or the pericarp. Here I am telling the term pericarp. Finally, the fruits become fleshy or dry. Mango, grape, banana, orange, guava, etc. are the fleshy fruits. And mustard, groundnut, etc. are the example for the dry fruits. Okay, clear it is. So here we are discussing the structure of seed. Seed is the final product of sexual reproduction in angiosperm. It is the fertilized ovule that is developed inside the seed. The seeds are two type, albuminous seeds and the non-albuminous seeds. Albuminous seeds otherwise known as endosperm. Albuminous seeds are otherwise known as endosperm seeds, and non-albuminous non-endosperm. Okay, because in non-albuminous endosperms are absent. They have no residual endosperm as it completely consumed during embryo development. Example, pea, groundnut, beans. But in case of albuminous seeds, they retain the part of endosperm. Example, wheat, maize, barley. Then we discuss perisperm. Perisperm, the remnant of new cellulose in matured seed, that is known as perisperm. Example for that is beet and black pepper. Beet and black pepper. Then indictment of the ovule is hardened to form tough covering that protect the seed. Okay, it has a small pore called micropyle which facilitate the entry of oxygen and water into the seed for the germination. As the seed get mature, the seed is very dry, 10 to 15% of moisture by mass. General metabolic activities of the embryo get slows down. As a result, the embryo may enter a state of inactivity that is known as dormancy. Okay, favorable conditions are available. Adequate moisture, oxygen and sunlight will get the seed get germinate. Okay, so this is about the development of the seed. Clear it is? Next we are discussing the development of fruit. The ovary of a flower develops into a fruit. The transformation of ovules into seed and the ovary into fruit proceeds simultaneously. The wall of the ovary develops into the wall of the fruit and it is called as pericarp. Okay, the fruits may be fleshy like guava, orange, mango, and may be dry, groundnut, mustards, etc. Many fruits have mechanism for dispersal of seeds. The fruits are of two types, true fruits and the false fruits. Okay, fruits that develop from the ovary are called true fruits. What is true fruits? Fruits are two types, true fruit and false fruit. So this is a diagram of the grape and this is a diagram of the apple. Grape is an example for the true fruit and apple is an example for the false fruit. Okay, in our concept both the grape and apple are fruits. Okay, so here I am discussing true fruit and the false fruit. So grape is an example for the true fruit, that means fruits that develop from the ovary. Fruits that develop from the ovary, so it is known as true fruits. If the fruits develop from the thalamus, okay, what is thalamus portion? The base of the ovary contain a swollen portion. Okay, the base of the ovary contain a swollen portion, that is known as thalamus. If the fruits are developed from the thalamus portion, it is known as false fruit. Example for the false fruits are apple, strawberry and cashew. Clear it as apple, strawberry and cashew. In apple, the fleshy receptacle forms the main edible part. Okay, the fleshy receptacle forms the portion that we eat. That is the fleshy receptacle portion. So, the fruits are two types based on the formation. The two types fruits are true fruits and the false fruits. True fruits means fruits developed from the ovary, that is known as true fruits. The fruits developed from the thalamus portion, that is known as false fruits. Okay, so in the case of apple, the fleshy receptacle forms the main edible part. Okay, then what are the advantages of seeds? And what are the advantages of seeds? Seeds have better adaptive strategies for dispersal to new habitats and help the species to colonize in other areas. They have food reserves. Okay, so young seedlings are nourished until they are capable of photosynthesis. The hard seed coat protects the young embryo. Being products of sexual reproduction, they generate new genetic combinations. Okay, dehydration and dormancy of mature seeds are crucial for storage of seeds. It can be used for throughout the year and also to raise the crop in the next season. Clear it is? So these are the advantages of the seeds. Again I am repeating. The seeds are the main source of the agricultural and staple food to mankind. Plant generation continues through the seed propagation. As the seeds exhibit dormancy, we can store them as used as a food and other products for human beings and animals. What is the term in seed dormancy? Dormancy and viability is changing for different types of seeds. Okay, it is not equal for all organisms. All organisms means all type of plants. Okay, the dormancy and viability of seeds vary from 100 to 1000 years in different species. The oldest record seed dormancy and viability is reported from lupine. The scientific name of lupine is Lupinus arcticus. Okay, it is excavated from the Arctic tundra with an estimated 10,000 years of dormancy. Okay, another 2,000 years of viable seed dormancy is reported from the date palm, which is discovered from King Herod's palace near the Dead Sea. Okay, so these have the ability to they are not germinate. They have the ability to maintain seed dormancy for so many years. Okay, that's the ability or tendency of the seed. It waits for the favorable conditions. Okay, so advantages of the seed means seeds have better adaptive strategies for dispersal, and they have food reserves. They have their hard seed coat protect. Okay, then the seeds possess adaptive strategies. That is the food methods that we discussed. Hard seed coats. The seed coats are testa and tegmen. We studied that seed coats are two types: outer integument and inner integument. It will be changed into seed coat, testa and the tegmen. So it provides and give protection against injury. And they provide genetic recombination because seeds are the result of the sexual reproduction. Okay, seeds are stored and consumed throughout the year to overcome the drought and natural calamities. Depending upon the mobility of seeds, they are used to raise crop in favorable season. Clear it is. So this is about the seeds. And I told you that the most viable seed is lupine. Lupinus arcticus is the scientific name of the lupine excavated from Arctic tundra. Clear? The next topic that we are discussing is parthenocarpy. Parthenocarpic means the fruits that develop without fertilization. Okay. Without fertilization, if the fruit is developing, that is known as parthenocarpic fruits. We discussed the term parthenocarpy in the case of honeybee. Male honeybees are forming without fertilization from the female egg. Okay, so here it happening in the case of the fruit that is known as parthenocarpic fruits. Okay, fruits are developed without fertilization, that is known as parthenocarpic fruits. So the fruits developing without fertilization does not have the ability to produce seeds. That's why banana have no seeds. Okay, so in artificial way the guava, then grapes, apples are producing by the process of this parthenocarpy. Parthenocarpy can be induced through the application of growth hormones, and such fruits are seedless. Clear it is. What is parthenocarpic fruit? Fruits that are formed without fertilization are called parthenocarpic fruits. These do not have seeds. Parthenocarpy can also induced artificially by the growth hormones. Okay. Next the term that we are discussing is apomixis or agamospermy. Apomixis or agamospermy. Apomixis means the phenomenon of sexual reproduction that imitates sexual reproduction. The phenomenon of asexual reproduction that imitates sexual reproduction by the formation of seed without fertilization, that is known as apomixis. Clear it is. I think you get confused with the term apomixis. Again I am telling, in some species like group like Asteraceae and grass produce seeds without fertilization and are called apomixis. Okay, why this is apomixis and parthenocarpics are same. In both cases, fertilization will not take place. Okay, but in Parthenocarpy, seeds are not forming. But in Apomixis, seeds are forming. That is the main difference. Clear? So some species like Asteraceae and grasses produce seeds without fertilization and called apomixis. Apomixis is a form of asexual reproduction that mimics sexual reproduction. Apomixis result in several methods, like in some plant species, the diploid egg cell is formed without reduction division and develops into embryo without fertilization and become apomictic seed. That means the diploid twin condition egg cell formed without reduction division. So here the meiosis not take place, mitosis will take place. Okay, and it develop into embryo without fertilization and become apomictic seed. In citrus, the next case is polyembryony. Okay, polyembryony. Polyembryony means in citrus and mango, the nucellar cells surrounding the embryo sac divide and produce so many embryos. Okay, the term it indicates that poly means more than one. Okay, polyembryony. So the occurrence of more than one embryo, in a seed, it is called a polyembryony. So did you see the orange having so many seeds, the citrus family having so many seeds because of the process of this polyembryony. So what is polyembryony? The occurrence of more than one embryo in a seed, that is known as polyembryony. What are the ways for forming this polyembryony? Development of cells like synergids, cells of nucellus, cells of integuments into embryo. So here the egg is not converted into embryo. Instead of egg, synergids, nucellus and the cells of the integument all get converted into embryo. The next way is formation of more than one embryo sac in an ovule. Forming more than one embryo sac in the ovule. The next condition is formation of more than one egg in the embryo sac. Formation of more than one egg in the embryo sac. All this result the formation of the polyembryony. Clear? All this result the formation of the polyembryony. Okay. Okay, so we discussed the term apomixis or agamospermy and polyembryony. Polyembryony means occurrence of more than one embryo in a seed, that is called polyembryony. Okay, so what is the importance of this apomixis in hybrid seed industry? Hybrid seeds have to be produced every year. Okay, if the seeds collected from hybrids are sown, the plants in the progeny will segregate and lose hybrid characters. Production of hybrid seed is costly. Hence, the cost of hybrid seed is also expensive for the farmers. If the hybrids are made into apomixis, there is no segregation of characters in the hybrid progeny. Then the farmers can keep on using the hybrid seeds to raise new crop year after year. Clear it is? That's why this apomixis is very important. In current agricultural practices, hybrid varieties of food and vegetables crops are being extensively cultivated. The main problem in such hybrid cultivation is the production of hybrid seeds in every year. The production of hybrid seed is expensive, that we know. Hence, the hybrids are made into apomictics. These apomictic seeds do not show variations in characters, hence can be used by the farmers for cultivation. Research works are going to identify the genetics of apomixis and to transfer the apomictic genes into hybrid varieties. Okay, clear it is.